Hi there. Welcome to Solid Dads Network Season 1. This is episode 4. And with me, I've got my friend Taeli. And I'd like you to introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, sure.
And welcome.
My name is Taeli Molotsi. I'm a manager within the HR space in one of the big banks.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of interest in golf.
That's nice.
2 years ago, I started.
I've seen the pictures.
I think I've gotten a lot better from that.
Serious.
And of course, learned a lot about myself from the golfing field.
Thanks for joining us today, because I've always wanted to know more about how you're navigating this fatherhood at a very young age. And I know you're raising a young daughter. I've seen the beautiful pictures of the two of you on the socials. Maybe tell us a little bit more about your journey and how you've navigated this thing of fatherhood at a very early age.
So first of all, I must say that having a child is such a blessing. I sometimes wonder why I didn't start a lot earlier. So for me, really the journey has been an amazing one. I always thank God that I am raising a healthy child.
Sure.
I don't take that for granted, and it's making things a lot easier from that front. Sure, as a father, what I've learned from my dad is that you have to be involved in the life of a child.
Get involved. I like that.
You have to, as much as it's sometimes hard from dads, you want to be affectionate as much as you possibly can be. You want to show them the softer side of you. You want to give them so much love, because I had to learn that when you grow, when you're a grown up and you're going through a difficult time, you draw from the love and the warmth of your parents. And
so you learn from your own parents.
You draw.
You draw
from their love and the warmth, and just remembering that you've got people that have always been there for you in life.
Nice.
And although things are hard now, you tend to draw a lot of strength from just from the past. I hope that really makes sense.
No, it makes sense. I want to touch a little bit on, you're a professional. You're a speaker. You're a professional in the banking sector, and I've seen you perform, and I've seen you in action. But how do you navigate this tension between family demand and living and raising your daughter with the demands of the work, and maybe give examples of the type of support system that you have to make it work?
So, fortunate enough, the fact that I know that I have to make time to be with my daughter, then it means that at the time of working, I give it my all.
Sure.
I do not want to procrastinate any task. I do not want to waste time on anything, because at the time when I'm now with my daughter, then I'm fully in the presence of my daughter, and I don't want to think of work. I don't even want to interrupt our conversation because I just thought of having to do something. So that's almost how I navigate the task of working and that of also spending time with my daughter.
How about the issue of co-parenting with the mother, maybe parenting decisions and decisions that are related to parenting styles? Do you find tension in that space, or you guys have agreed on some kind of set of rules?
Because we're human beings and we're different, and we are raised different. We tend to want to hold on to certain beliefs and impart them on parenting our children. So now, because there's two of you guys, then it's like my way or your way, and if our ways aren't connecting,
sometimes it doesn't integrate.
If it doesn't integrate, then there's a conflict. But of course, as adults, you want to work that out, because you are all here for the sake of the child. It's always it has to be in the best interest of the child. So, and you find, and again, I want to touch. Sorry to interrupt you. I want to touch on the rules around communication. Do you find there's just fluency around those kinds of rules, or you've got some kind of engagement rules around co-parenting between yourself and the mother? Or you found that very seamless? Well, not at all.
It's not easy.
It can never be easy. But how do you ensure that first you communicate, and you communicate effectively.
Absolutely, yeah.
And how do you try to always, well, maybe it can't always be possible, but how do you become a bigger person in a moment of conflict?
Yeah.
To ensure that there isn't sort of like an overflowing conflict that ultimately affects the child. Because you want to protect the child. If in a moment I'm steadfast in what I believe,
yeah,
or the mother is steadfast in their belief,
yeah,
one has to sort
There's
of
no
back
meeting
down.
point. Yeah,
the one has to back down, and I try to be the one that's always backing down. Not at all am I trying to say I'm a better party
or
here.
you're a weaker party,
or at all a weaker party,
course,
but it's just making sure that we always are at our best whenever we have to be with the child
and everything is in the interest of the baby.
Everything is in the interest of the child, because the child really feeds from the vibrancy of the children. If I make the mother angry or mad, she is going to be mad to a certain degree also to people around them, inclusive of the child, vice versa. How do you mitigate that? By ensuring that you want to be as peaceful as possible whenever you engage you engage the mother.
Yeah. You've been involved with our community and the network from the beginning, and I remember when I spoke to you about it a few months ago, you were excited about it. I want to maybe to ask you this, how do you see this network helping you and maybe other dads out there that are looking for support systems and for advice from such a community?
Naturally, us as men, we think we always have it figured out.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case. We think we know it all. We think we don't need help, because unfortunately our society has almost built this thing around men that you have it all covered. When it's not necessarily the case.
There's a stigma,
And also there's a stigma around not wanting to speak to somebody else, because you assume they will think you are a failure,
or you are a weaker,
or you are a weakerling. So the platform like this will be able to help like-minded fathers to understand that there is help out there, there is support, they're not alone. Whenever they need to chat to anybody, there is someone that they can chat to.
Absolutely.
Especially around also the fact that we tend to not to become vulnerable, but this platform, seeing other men being vulnerable about how difficult it is to raise children, then they will start also opening up, and in that sense they will receive help. You know, I've heard some of the speakers talking about how whenever you share a problem that you faced with somebody else, it's the beginning of healing.
I like that.
And when you do that, in turn somebody gives you guidance and advice, and it's the beginning of learning.
I like that.
And of course, you take that away and you implement in your child's life, and things might work out best.
I like
but
that.
it's quite important for me to mention that children are not the same. As a result of that, ensure that when you parent on the basis of your very own child. What is it that they like? What makes them tick? What doesn't? What are they passionate about? And you try to always be just an anchor that helps them to fly and prosper.
To figure that out,
and to figure things out.
I like that. I need to mention this. Taeli is raising a girl child. In fact, in the next season, we want to explore how fathers raising girl children or a girl child need to navigate this, particularly because I'm also raising 2 girl children or girl kids, and I'd like to know more in the next season around the strategies around certain types of parenting strategies, particularly around girl kids. And I look forward to us interacting during that time. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, my friend.